office or call into my WFLT show on Thursdays. So doing this weekly message gives you and I a chance to talk, because I want you to be informed during these weeks when so much is happening here at City Hall. I want to make sure you have a chance to hear directly from me what I'm working on, what the priorities are, and how we go about transforming this city into a real 21st century community. So let's start with some of the good news. We showed what we can do if we all work together. Last week, at the end of the week, we were able to announce this federal SAFER grant from FEMA, part of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, that will allow us to bring back 39 firefighters. And the personnel department is hard at work today to get that rehiring organized so that we can have our firefighters back on the job. It just was such welcome news. We all know how tough it's been these last few weeks with this string of fires and the arsons, and how hard our firefighters have had to work to keep up with that. And now, through a welcome partnership with the federal government, we're going to be able to have 39 firefighters back on the job here beginning in the next few days. So, what does that mean for us, and how did it happen? I mean, this is going to bring our total fire suppression force up from 66 today up to 105 when this program is able to be fully implemented. These federal dollars, a total of $6.7 million, will cover the personnel costs, both the salaries as well as the direct and the indirect fringe benefits for all 39 of these firefighters for the next 24 calendar months. So for the next 2 years, we will maintain on the City of Flint's payroll the 66 that we have today. That's a requirement of the grant, and that's in the proposed budget that was submitted last week to City Council, because we were hopeful that this grant would be coming our way, and we knew we'd have to maintain that minimum staffing requirement of for us, 66 firefighters. Now you add the 39 on top of that from the federal government, 105 firefighters. Will be reopening the 2 stations that we recently had to close, Station 3 on Martin Luther King and Station number 8 down on the city's south side near Atherton and South Saginaw. So those stations will be open. We'll have more firefighters on the job than last fall when me and my team came in here, and we'll have those 5 stations fully staffed, and each of them will be able to respond to a fire and get water, begin suppressing any fire that they're called to as the closest station. Now, how did this happen? How did we get such an extraordinary level of support from the federal government? Well, it started with a great application that was put together through the leadership of 2 of our firefighters. I have David Solis in my office. Our Director of Governmental Policy monitors all those grant opportunities. He made sure that the leadership at the fire department was working on that grant. It was submitted in January of this year, of 2010, our application. When we went through the layoff process, we had to apply for a waiver so that we could reset the minimum force requirement for us to maintain. So we got through that. Our Congressman Kildee was very good at lobbying for us through this program. Senator Stabenow, Senator Levin had provided letters of support. This is not common. It's not common when you apply for a certain amount from the federal government to get the entire grant, and that's what we did. So through Congressman Kildee, and I should mention this Dr. Ed Montgomery. And if you watch the news, you know that he's the White House, President Obama's Director of Auto Community Recovery. He's been to Flint a couple times. I've had a chance to work with him and his staff myself, both here in Flint and also through my first visit last fall to Washington, D.C. So he came through for us. He made a personal call to the director of FEMA, and we got this grant, and we'll have these firefighters on the job. So that's how we work together with our fire department, Director of Public Safety Chief Locke, my office, our congressional leaders, as well as executive leaders at the federal level. That's what's going to help turn this city around. Now, of course, we have an awful lot of hard work that we have to do, but this is what we've got to do to fulfill this vision. And the vision is that this city become a true 21st century community that's sustainable. It doesn't ride the ups and the downs and the booms and the busts that have hurt us over these recent years. We become stable, sustainable, prosperous, and that means we'll have new jobs, safer neighborhoods, and great schools. That's what's driving the agenda, and we're going to have to make these tough decisions, but also build partnerships and do some things in some new ways. Not just to clean up old messes, that's part of it, but really to fulfill this vision. We have in place now a comprehensive economic development strategy. City Council and the County Board of Commissioners passed it unanimously a few weeks ago. This lays out the plan for how we will bring over 8,000 new jobs to this region in growing sectors like advanced manufacturing, life sciences and medical devices, higher education, transportation and logistics, alternative energy. I mean, these are the opportunities that we have right here in the city of Flint and in the Flint area, and we're pursuing them very, very aggressively. And in this budget that I proposed, even in these tough times, we put in more money for economic development than at any other budget in recent years. And that's because there's no way that we can stabilize our neighborhood and provide a better opportunity for our kids if we don't do some serious work in economic development over these next couple months. It's not just about balancing a budget. I mean, this is about the human reality that we need jobs in this community. And that's what I've been working on personally and with my top staff. And we're getting to a point where we're going to start seeing some results. Without these long-term jobs, it's going to be very, very difficult to continue to provide high-quality services. And of course, it's not just about dollars coming in at City Hall and saying we're providing a certain level of service. I mean, this is about what we want for our kids and your grandkids and anyone in this community who's looking for a job, looking for a place to raise a family. We need those jobs in this city for us to become that 21st century sustainable city that we're working towards. So we're going to get through this working together in this tight budget in this lean season, but we're going to do it by investing in economic development. And that will bring the jobs and the economic development that we need to secure a real future for this community. I continue to want to hear from you directly. And if you haven't been able to come yet to any of the previous neighborhood action sessions, I want to make an appeal. April 24th, Saturday morning, kicking off at 8:30 a.m. With breakfast and registration. We're going to have the first citywide summit on neighborhood action and public safety. You'll get a chance to see the neighborhood action items that your neighbors have put together over these last few months working with my team and working with community partner organizations. You'll get to meet your foot patrol officer. You'll get to learn about the blight elimination and code enforcement program that's coming to the streets of the city. So come on out and voice your own opinions, voice your ideas, but also learn what we're doing to fulfill this vision of making this place a 21st century city with new jobs and safe neighborhoods and great schools. You know, my door is always open. Wednesday mornings, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. You can come down and sit with me right here in the office, like you're doing now, but in person. Answer your questions, deal with your concerns, listen to your ideas. You can also email me anytime, mayor@cityofflint.com. You can give us a call, 766-7346. Call into WFLT Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. I'm also on Super Talk on Tuesday mornings at 7 a.m. and do the Channel 5 Ask the Mayor segment on Thursdays at 12 noon, and you need to email Channel 5 in advance with your questions. So let's keep talking. I hope you found this informative. I've had a good chance to share with you what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're going to get to this more sustainable city. Talk to you next week.